Daniel Radcliffe, with performances like these, is stepping out of the shadow of being Harry Potter. Imperium, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Toni Collette, Sam Trammell, and directed by Daniel Ragussis. Why is it that directors' names are always the hardest to pronounce? The film is about an FBI agent trying to infiltrate white supremacist groups and gain intel on a possible domestic terrorist attack. Radcliffe plays Nate Foster, a reclusive, introverted, idealist agent who gets sucked into wanting to make a difference at the agency. Toni Collette plays his FBI handler, Angela, who is able to convince Nate he has the skills needed to infiltrate the groups and find out if someone is planning an attack. Daniel Radcliffe is fantastic in the role. I've never seen him better since Harry Potter. I haven't watched Swiss Army Man yet, but if his performance is as good as this, then I think he is finally starting to establish himself outside of the iconic character he is known for. He transforms twice within the movie. At first you see him as this nerdy, introverted FBI agent. He sits alone at his desk with his headphones on and gets crap from the other agents. At first I had no clue how this character was going to be able to transform into a white supremacist. Radcliffe is able to accomplish this, and the character is believable in the undercover role. He constantly has to think on his feet, adjusting to every situation to make sure his cover isn't blown. I can understand people who might criticize the character because he's almost too perfect. He almost never screws up, and when he does, he's able to cover his tracks. He also always has the answer for any situation, and seems to know everything about anything. I didn't have an issue with this because he does struggle, and the decisions Foster makes are believable within the framework of the story. I do think more setup in the beginning about how smart Foster is would have eased the believability of his actions throughout the course of the movie. Toni Collette is great, as she usually is, in anything she does. She plays a believable, jaded FBI agent, whose budget and department have been pushed to the side due to international terrorist threats. I liked her character, and it served as a touchstone for Foster throughout the course of the story. Foster needed Angela, so he could have someone to remind him of why he was doing the job. Foster began to relate to the suspects he was investigating, and while he didn't agree with them, he felt for some of them. Foster wanted to try and save them and bring them back to normalcy, when the job was to make sure they didn't blow anyone up. The actors who played the skinheads and clan leaders all do good jobs. Sam Trammell, of True Blood fame, stood out and was great. His character provided a different context to the typical stereotype of a white supremacist. His character reminded me of the quote from Speed. Yes, I know, silly, but it fits. He is crazy, not stupid. The strength of the movie is built on the strong performances and the gripping tension the story builds as Foster goes deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. The first part of the movie may be a little slow, but it does build upon itself. Ragussis does a great job of building suspense, as Foster starts to question if his cover has been blown. Every time Foster is forced to think on his feet, you wonder if he's going to have to be forced to make a quick escape. My heart was pounding the last 15 to 20 minutes of the story, wondering what was going to happen next, and totally engrossed within the story. I also didn't expect some of the twists and turns the story took, and was pleasantly surprised when they did happen. The only negative within the plot of the film is how quickly Foster moves from group to group of white supremacists. After he does this, the group left behind isn't really touched on again, or at least not in a meaningful way. It is also hard to judge how much time has elapsed throughout the course of the movie. It seems like a great amount of time is progressing, but I think Ragussis could have done a better job in conveying this progression. The only other small negative I have for the film is the white supremacist montages spliced throughout the course of the movie. One at the start and maybe one close to the finish would have been enough to get the point across, but they become redundant and lose value with the frequency of use within the movie. This, however, is a minor distraction from an otherwise well put together movie. I enjoyed watching Imperium and would watch it again because of how well Radcliffe performs and how well the movie builds suspense. This one is worth seeing, and you can rent it now since it was only a limited release in theaters. It may not be for everyone, but if you enjoy a good suspenseful thriller, then I think you will enjoy it. If you have checked out Imperium, let me know what you thought. If not, does this movie sound interesting? What is your favorite Daniel Radcliffe role, minus the Harry Potter films? Comment and let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.